they can't just keep stockpiling all of the work. I know if I had paintings like this, if I'd ever done any beautiful work like this, I wouldn't want to pass it on to somebody else. I'd want to keep it for myself, and you know, for posterity, for whatever. I find it very hard to part with something you spent so much loving care in conceiving and developing, and you know. But obviously, you've got to move on, and you've got to live, and you've got to earn a living, and artwork has to go on. But I suppose there is a joy in hopefully seeing it going into a new home somewhere, maybe a public building, a foyer of a hotel, or in a public building of some sort, or a private home where the art will be appreciated by hopefully many, many people, and for hopefully hundreds of years into the future. Because I think this artwork that I'm seeing around us will be appreciated, will be admired, people will, in 100 years' time, will look at these paintings and look back to the time in Ireland when these were being composed, and when they were being conceived in terms of art, and when they wanted to kind of release a certain feeling or convey a certain message or communicate to the public certain feelings that they get. That's important. And I think when I look at this, I really appreciate what art can do to create an impression and to create a sense of it's like poetry can do the same. Music can do the same too in a different way. But it's the ability of these mediums of art to evoke things in us that are important to us, you know. I'm very concerned about the environment. I'm critically concerned about climate change and biodiversity loss. You know, we're living through a time of civilization, human civilization, where we face massive catastrophes unless we change fundamentally from the track we're on. We're heading over a cliff. And our young generation, all of our young generation, not just here in Ireland, but right across the world, are going to face a very tough future, very different to what we've grown up with, simply because we are stealing their future by our actions today, in the way we're abusing our environment, with greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere from fossil fuel, or from meat, excessive amount of meat, or whether it's through destruction of our rainforests or our oceans, but also in our farmland, you know. I was looking at a beautiful painting here by Nicola of curlews, and I remember my mother writing a song when we were children about a curlew, because she absolutely loved the curlew in the moors, that haunting cry of the curlew, and a sense of carrying you off into the distance in the twilight. And it always evoked something very special to me. And when I see that painting of the curlews, it's the symbol of nature at its most perfect, you know. But our curlews will be extinct within, they're heading rapidly for extinction. We're down to 150 breeding pairs left in Ireland. No. There were probably 100,000 when I was a child. You see curlews on the coast, which are basically migrants coming in and overwintering here in Ireland. They're different to the moorland curlew that we're used to. And I want to use the curlew because we've the corncrake. We've got so many of our species. 45% of our bird populations reduced since 1970. That's, if you like, 45 years we lost 45% of our birds in Ireland in terms of population numbers. That's what's happening. You know, birds in a way are like the canary in the coal mine. And we should look to the birds because they're the one that we can identify most with. But they tell us the damage we're doing. Pesticides, with monoculture farming, with intensification. What I mean is it's not just happening out in the rainforest, it's not just happening out in tropical areas or in the oceans of the world. It's happening here, in our watch, during our lifetime. What's happening? One species that quadrupled over 100 years. We're now 7.4 billion people, heading for 9.5 by 2050, and over 10, maybe 11 million by 2100. And we are consuming at the rate of 1.6 planets at the moment globally, in terms of our resources. We have damaged the environment to such a level that we're now in unprecedented times. Our atmosphere has been transformed. The chemical composition now has changed dramatically. And over 50% of that change has happened since 1980. So over a time when we knew we were doing the damage, we have still continued on the same destructive way of exploiting and over-exploiting and greed, basically. And we need to change. And this is where art becomes so important, because what I see in these paintings here is 4 women, with very, very creative women, expressing the cry of nature, the call of nature, saying to us, we need to rescue this planet from the damage we as human beings are doing to all the other species on this planet. We need to change. And it is the message that's coming through here in this exhibition. And it's a very, very important message. And I can say this, that I know after this exhibition, I feel very strongly that all 4 of you are going to go back even more inspired to create even more in this area and to get more of this message out there. And I feel very privileged to be here. And I don't feel I'm the right person to talk here. I do see some of the experts in the room. But all I can say is that I feel very privileged, and I really appreciate being asked to do this. And I really love what you're doing. Fantastic work. I'm certainly not going to choose one painting or one artist here, because I think they all have wonderful attributes. And all I can say is you need to all keep together, keep working together, keep that synergy going, keep the strong bond between you, and keep on your journey. And fantastic. And thank you all. And I hope, by the way, some people in this room really hope to buy some of these things. Because at the end of the day, these 4 women have to live. All right? They have to live. And they deserve to live. And they deserve to create more. So please be generous and look to something that you could bring and let others enjoy into the future. So thanks.
Thank you so much. Hi there. Hi. That was fantastic, wasn't it? It was well worthwhile, and now I know why the girls asked Duncan to do this exhibition. Because in a way they are missionaries for our future. And just like he said, I was going to say they have to live. And of course, me having a gallery, I know exactly what that means. So we can help you buy something here. If anything seems out of your reach, don't worry about it. We will make it happen. And you will buy a little bit of heritage and maybe a little bit of our future nature. And there's no doubt they have to live. And I don't know if Nicola would like to say thank you on behalf of the group, perhaps. Is that okay with you girls?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening. There's a lot of very supportive people around us, and working as an artist, it's kind of a very insular activity, but I think all of us benefit from our friends and family and the people that give us the feedback and the support we've got this evening, especially from Noel opening this beautiful gallery to see our work set here. I don't think we could see a nicer place that really bonds the work together, because the work is very much for an interior that's a living space. It's not just for the white cube gallery. These are pieces of artwork that we've given our love and our passion to, and it really has come from the heart. And I think we want to see them going to homes to be loved and cherished in the future, because without people here to see what we've done, we're just calling in the silence. Somebody has to hear it, and somebody has to see it. So thank you to everybody for coming, and for everyone that supports us individually in our work as artists, and we are very grateful.
Some of you have booked into the Arts Club for supper afterwards. I believe there's only 5 seats left, and it's very cheap and very good. And I shouldn't say cheap.